Yo, what up? This is Sobi, and you're watching the Master G interview. To preface, this is Chrome Shotty, and this is Master G.
Hi everybody, welcome in. I'm going to be interviewing the lovely, legendary Master G.
Hi.
Hi Master G.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
I don't know where that noise came from. Anyways, I want to start reading your questions now. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. So, the first question is, how did we meet and when? From Shawnee Sounds. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong.
So, we met, we were actually in the same VC a couple of times in Lunari's server. And so we would make a sound and then leave the chat abruptly and leave the whole VC confused. But there was this one time that me and Vixa were in Lunari's server and we were streaming this song we made called True Colors. And we were just building the beat and singing on it and harmonizing in auto-tune in the VC. And I think Sobi joined, and I guess she really liked what she heard, because afterwards she started hanging out with me and Vixa, and after that we kind of formed a little group chat, and we helped produce Gucci Store, which is the first song that you can find on Sobi's SoundCloud page and Spotify and everywhere else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The next question is, what is your favorite plugin from Anthony? Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. I don't really have a favorite plugin, to be honest. I mean, some plugins I use a lot in almost every project would include Spitfire Audio Labs, which I think everybody uses and everybody knows about at this point. And probably GMS, actually. I use a lot of that for leads and things. But I think a lot of people would be surprised and are surprised when they find out that I really use a lot of stock plugins in FL Studio. So, I don't really use a lot of third-party things. I mean, sometimes when I'm trying to get a little fancy and some of the bounce tracks I do, I might use some third-party VSTs, but I really use a lot of stock stuff. So, yeah.
What was your favorite track to work on and why?
I think one of my favorite tracks to work on, I think it's in between Venus Line and Coupe. Just because Venus Line, I think I sent Sobi the beat. It was just one of those beats I had sitting around that I wasn't really gonna do anything with. And she was like, this goes crazy, this is hard. And she just started screaming on the track and making all these Sobian noises. And after she was done, she was just like, okay, what now? I was like, send me that. Send me everything you just recorded right now, immediately. She was like, what? Really? Are you serious? I was like, yes. She sent it and I started mixing it. Started doing some little turntable scratch effects on it, pitch shifting on her vocals and stuff. She's like, oh, this is going crazy. I was like, I know, right? I saw the potential in it, and yeah, that was a fun process there, recording Venus Line.
Audette also asks, what was the most challenging part of the experience and what was the most rewarding part?
I think the most challenging part was I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to music. I want everything to be perfect. I think, I've never really made pop before, ever. And this was crazy, me kind of jumping into making a whole pop R&B type album. This is my first time doing anything like that. And I would always listen to current mainstream artists just for reference, for mixing and things like that, to see how the professionals do it really. And it was just getting discouraged, beating myself up, dang, I don't think no amount of mixing I can do will ever be able to sound as good as the artists we hear on the radio. I was just really getting discouraged by that, but kept going. I think in turn, the part of this entire experience that was most rewarding was knowing that I was giving Sobi kind of like this platform, kind of like pushing her up onto like a pedestal for the world to see, be like, here, behold, here is the new artist of the century that you guys have to listen to. She is super talented, is a really great singer, and to know that I was able to kind of give her like that foundation and to see like such a positive response from this community and from people outside of this community. Within the first week, I think we had like over 10,000 streams. And that was amazing to see that people were really like rocking with the art we put out and really rocking with Sobi's voice and Sobi's vision. It was just like a proud mom type moment.
Mar asked, mixing tutorial when?
A lot of people have asked like that I started like Twitch streaming, I guess give tutorials on how I do what I do. But I don't have the setup for that. So in the meantime, I'm always free if like you guys have like specific questions that you want to ask. I'm always on Discord, so like definitely, shoot me a question if you want. I'm always streaming as well in Discord, so if you want to jump into my live and take a quick peek at like my mixer track or whatever and ask questions, then that is okay as well.
How do you achieve such uniqueness in the age of recycling? Love your work. By I Marie. I really think that's such a sweet question, by the way.
That is a really nice question. Wow. I try to be like the producers who have inspired me, and there's like a top 5 for me. But, they are just like legends and I cannot be like them. So my music doesn't turn out how theirs does. But that's okay. It's okay that I am unique in my own way and I'm not just a clone, just like a carbon copy of everybody else. I'm really thankful that I am able to be very versatile and to like, kind of like try out different genres and be, somewhat successful at it. But I do enjoy just trying to be as unique as possible. It can be hard to do that, especially in this day and age when there's a lot of people who are just copying each other, essentially. But yeah, it's a really nice question.
Mizo asked, how many times did people try to ask to be on it? The album, of course.
Nobody really asked to be on it because we didn't really tell people about what we were working on. Like back in like September when we started, we kind of just like went into hiding, stopped participating in like public server VCs, and just kind of like did our own thing for 3 or 4 months and just, worked really hard on this album and kept it a secret. So nobody really had the opportunity to ask us to be on it like that because, we kept it hidden.
Odd by Nines asked, how? Just how?
Yes. That's how, yes.
I think it's because Master G is an icon.
Oh.
Next question. What were her sources of inspo? Azkel asked, referring to, you, of course.
Well, as I mentioned before, I definitely did like a lot of research, like listening to mainstream artists and mainstream producers, just trying to get a feel for how does it mix a pop album, which again is something I've never done before. So, just did my homework basically. Along the way, I was taking like requests from Sobi. Like if Sobi wanted, like, she might send me a song that was kind of like disco or like house inspired, or maybe she wanted like some Afrobeat type something. I would be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll try to make that. And yeah.
Josh said, when's she dropping the Eccentricity drum kit?
Oh, I did not know that was something people wanted. I would think that people would just want like Sophie's acapella, like her vocals. Why do y'all want the drum kit? Listen, I can assure y'all that all the sounds I use, the perk loops, the instruments, the BSTs, plugins, every single thing, I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys have the exact same sample packs that I use. So, it's just all about creativity and being innovative with those sample packs and just making your own sound out of them. So there will not be an Eccentricity drum kit. So I'm very sorry to disappoint.
Sir Duke asks, what was the mindset when going into the making of these tracks?
Definitely think that from like a lyrical perspective, you'd have to ask Sobi.
If that was for me, it's really just about getting out how I feel at the moment and if the beat resonates with that.
But from a music perspective, I just wanted to give Sobi that canvas of inspiration for her to sing on. Just give her beats that would really inspire her to go all in and, just start belting, start singing and like just going crazy on for her debut. So yeah, that was the mindset really. Just, I knew that I wanted to kind of try out a bunch of different genres as well with this album, because that's something I've never done before, as I've mentioned many times already in this interview. But I think that's very important to note. But I just wanted to provide that inspiration for Sobi to just go crazy on. Yeah.
Mystic asks, what made you start making music?
I started playing piano like, I don't know, like 12, 13 years ago. Can't really remember at this point. It's all a blur. But we had like this upright piano downstairs at my old house, and I would always get distracted from my sheet music homework because I was taking piano lessons. I was learning like classical music and like jazz pieces and things like that. I would always get like distracted and start making my own melodies, start composing my own songs basically. And I was like, wow, I really want to like make music. And so I think I kind of did some searching around my young self, like 11-year-old, maybe 12, trying to figure out how to produce music like the music I hear on the radio. I think that's when I found FL Studio. I downloaded it, had no idea what I was doing, and uninstalled it within 30 minutes. And I think at one point I had like one of those keyboards where like they have like the pre-built drum patterns in it, but those loops are awful. They sound terrible, like the little Yamaha drum loops that come pre-installed. They are so bad. And I was like, I'm not inspired by this at all. I really want to make my own drum loops. I want to make my own sounds. I want to do my own thing. So I was determined at that point. So I re-downloaded FL Studio maybe like 6 months later, maybe a year, kind of taught myself the ins and outs of FL Studio, taught myself producing, just doing a lot of observing, a lot of listening to a lot of my like top 5 SoundCloud producers, just taking note, practicing every day in FL Studio. And 10 years later, here we are. This year is my 10-year anniversary of producing, and I've been Master G for 6 years. So it's been a pretty wild ride. I'm really grateful for everybody I've met. Really thankful for how things have turned out so far. So
Senkei asked, when are we getting a Sobi G podcast? I don't know about that one.
Oh.
Are we that interesting? I don't know.
I think so.
Do people care? I don't know about that.
Please.
That sounded a little... Listen, I
Okay. I definitely think if I'm not that interesting, you definitely are, Sobi. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that would be fun though. That would be a nice thing to do. We should talk that over. Yes.
Brittany asked, vocals. How did this come together? I noticed lots of background vocals and it sounded so pretty to the ear.
Yes. So we definitely snapped on the background vocals. I did some as well.
I don't really know.
Oh, hello.
I don't.
Hmm?
I don't know who that was for.
Oh.
Should I? I mean, you do have some backup. Well, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Thank you for watching. That was the Master G interview with Eccentricity context. And that's that on that.